What's going on, guys? This week I had my hands on the Realme 7 and I said I was going to do a 1 week later review on this Realme 7. Now I'm going to start off by saying that on eFones.com currently we do have some deals running and we have a competition going right now where you can get your hands on a free Realme C11 along with some other goodies. So if you want to enter that, that'll be linked in the description below where you can enter that. We have also done a video on that, so if you want to check that out, that'll be linked up here now and you can click that and go straight to that competition. Anyway, I've had my hands on this for a week now and I've been messing around with it on and off. Now I haven't used this as much as I would have liked to and how much as I usually use a phone. It's just been a little bit too busy recently. However, I have had a good amount of time to mess around with this phone, play a few games, take some photos, and overall just sort of play around with it a little bit. And I am very, very impressed, especially when you take into account that price, which start at £179. So that is an incredible price for a phone of this spec. I mean, you're getting a 48 megapixel camera, you're getting that big display, it looks brilliant. You know, you've got that 5,000 mAh battery, which is absolutely ginormous, and you've got sort of that Helio G95 processor packed inside this. So you're getting some incredible specs for that price. As I said, starting at $179, that is absolutely incredible. And I've been basically blown away by this phone. Now, one of the key things I do like about the phone is the actual design. It's a very, very clean design, and I think this with the 7 Pro as well. They've gone for a very clean, not very messy, sort of simple design. Now, Realme in the past have experimented with some very interesting backs of their phones and very interesting designs overall, and I have felt like personally it has been the perfect mix with Realme in the past. Sometimes you get some phones which just go a bit too much with the old designs on the back and it just looks a bit bad, but with Realme I feel like they've actually had a very good run at design wise, and this just sort of is a bit like the icing on the cake really. It's a simple phone, simple design which looks absolutely great. It's got some serious layers to it, and you can see if I move it around like this, you can see all the different colours sort of refracting off it, and I think overall the phone design is absolutely great, and this is my favourite colour of it as well. So this is actually the mist white colourway, and I just feel like this is an absolutely stunning phone, and I think Realme's done a great job. And that also extends to not just the actual colorway of the device, but the placement of all the sort of buttons and other parts of it. I just think overall this is a very well constructed phone, and I have seen some criticism online with the Realme 7 and 7 Pro range with people saying that the quality didn't feel like it was there. However, I just feel like that just basically isn't true. People were saying stuff like if you press on the back then you can hear a squeak, but I'm pressing pretty hard on this. You can see the color of my thumb change, no noise whatsoever, and you can knock on that. It is rock solid, and so I don't really understand some of those comments. I felt like this phone has held up, and I have actually dropped this phone on a hard surface, a concrete floor, once, and literally not even a chip on the outside of it. So, and I for some reason wasn't wearing a case, but yeah, overall, I do think this phone is a great quality phone as well as being an incredibly good looking phone. So some of those criticisms that I have seen online, I just think basically aren't true. That being said, one of the things I wasn't too fond of with the Realme phone was the fact that it has that polka dot camera, that poke through punch hole camera. Now, I'm not a fan of on-screen cameras, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of those cameras that should be coming out later this year from brands such as Xiaomi, where they're going to have those under-display cameras, and I think that's really going to push phone designs forward, and I imagine you'll see that in Realme devices as well. Obviously, I haven't heard anything yet, but we probably will see something similar to that. That being said, I do feel like this camera is one of the better punch hole cameras because I feel like it has been really well integrated into the design and into the thought process of the display. For example, you can see that the text, wherever you go around stuff, text sort of warps around that camera and doesn't really go underneath it. I have seen some phones previously, not from Realme, but from other Android phone manufacturers, where the camera was not really integrated into the software, so you were having the camera overlap time and overlapping other things, other aspects, and it just didn't look very well refined. Whereas I feel like Realme have done a great job in integrating this camera into the display. So when you load up apps as well, sometimes they move around the actual camera, so you don't see that in the apps. And also I think the placement of the camera is good place because, for example, you might see later when I'm playing apps, my thumb's always over that camera anyway, so I won't be using that bit of the screen anyway, so I feel like it's a very good placed camera. So in general, that punch hole camera has not been a problem at all while I've been using this phone, whereas originally I thought it wasn't a problem, but because it's tucked away in that corner and integrated with a lot of the Realme apps, it doesn't really interrupt anything in terms of display. Talking about display, I've seen a very smooth display on this, and also scroll speeds are absolutely incredible. As I said, you will see that in a minute when I play a little bit of the games. The 90 Hz refresh rate on this LCD display is absolutely incredible, and the colors for an LCD display are also very prominent and very well thought out, and overall very natural colors and realistic. I have seen criticisms of some LCD displays previously where people were saying the colors were too vibrant, but I haven't really seen that on this Realme. I think it's very well optimized. So far overall I'm actually very impressed by the Realme 7. It's very hard to believe that price tag currently. So what we're going to do now is move on to a little bit of the gaming, and then after that we'll do sort of a benchmark test for you. I've got Asphalt 9 installed here, so a little bit more of a demanding game. I basically can see and show off this 90 Hz refresh rate screen, along with showing off that MediaTek Helio G95 processor. Now this is the 6GB RAM variant, so not the max, but also not the smallest size RAM. So we'll see how this performs, and overall so far, as I said, whilst I've been gaming on this device, I have been pretty impressed, and I've yet to see any sort of significant lag drops. But in terms of refresh rates, it is absolutely crystal clear and absolutely awesome. I don't play a lot of Asphalt 9, however, this is a game that has been requested, so we're going to jump onto it now and basically show you what it looks like. As you can see here though, I'm not sure if it's too clear, but the phone volume is extremely loud. I'll turn this down just to talk, but it's very loud when I'm actually playing. So I'll turn it up again for you in a second sort of race here, and you'll be able to hear basically the full volume. If I turn it up now, you'll be able to hear, I have to sort of shout over it. It's a bit clashy, but yeah. So I'm going to move on to that Geekbench test that I was talking about. So we can't do Antutu, but we are going to do a Geekbench test for you. So what I'm going to do here is quickly run this CPU benchmark. So as you can see, we've got the single core score here of 533 and the multi-core score of 1675 there. So there's your scores there for the Realme 7, and there's a little bit more information here. If you want to pause that, just click pause at any point. You should be able to see all this information here. I won't scroll too quickly, but it's a good time to show off that 90 Hz refresh rate again with that scroll screen there. There's some more multi-core information here, and you can see sort of where this scores on here. So around about where the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro, or just above the Samsung Galaxy S8 as well, for £179. That is absolutely incredible. And you can see here on all these single core things here, it scores somewhere around here-ish, above all the Poco F1s and OnePlus 6 and things above them. So pretty good there as well. So there you go, guys. There's a bit of gaming there, a geek benchmark test, and my personal opinion of the phone this week. So overall, I would say this phone is a solid 9 out of 10. And for the price, I would say that you basically cannot get a phone better. As I said, guys, we do have that giveaway currently running now for Halloween. So if you want to check that giveaway out, it will be linked in the description below. I would advise you check that out. As I said, you can get your hand on a free Realme phone or some goodies that we've got in there as well that you can grab. We also do have a deal going on right now for a lot of Realme phones just currently running. If you want to check them out, make sure you check out eFones.com, and that'll be linked in the description as well, where you can buy that. As always, you can buy this Realme 7 now on eFones.com. As I said, it starts at $179, so you can purchase that straight away, or you can purchase it on Amazon as well, where they do have the Realme 7 listed there as well. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any questions about the Realme 7 at all, or anything in general, please let us know in the comments below, and we'll be sure to get back to you. If you enjoyed this type of video, make sure you consider subscribing, as it really means a lot to us, guys. Thank you very much for watching our video, and I hope to see you in the next one.